Hey, this is Rod. If you've been like me and one of those people who have been praying for God to move in our land for decades, not days, decades, and maybe you've been like in Psalms 126, feel like you've sowed all the seed you had, went out, borrowed seed to sowed all that, sold every piece of property you had to buy seed, you sowed that, and the harvest just hasn't come in. It hasn't gone like you wanted, and you have had battles and attacks, and you kept pushing through and kept pushing through, and now you find yourself older. You may call yourself wiser, but you may be just a little discouraged. I know what that's like: pain, suffering. Our families go through transitions, and at times the passion we had, the call to uphold our nation, our region, our city, even others in prayer, can get pushed back just because it becomes a little less important. Not because it's less important, but because our hearts get hard of sowing and sowing and sowing and never see anything happen. Well, keep going. I really believe we have to push through in faith at times. But the Lord is faithful to give you a word, to have you hear a message somehow, to have a song of encouragement. The Lord's arm is not short as in encouraging you, but you have to allow yourself to be encouraged. You have to let the Lord balance the emotions of your heart with the lack of things you see doing happening in the natural. But let the Lord do that for you. Let the Lord keep encouraging you. Let the Lord still be your master and goal setter and agenda maker, regardless of circumstances. And to do that, uh, base your life that the Lord loves you. He loves you, and so we can feel at times rejected and worth less because maybe our prayers aren't being answered, or we feel like the Lord has moved on, and now there's a whole other generation of anointed prayers, or another generation of this or that. You don't need to give up your place just because there's more people participating, and the Lord doesn't just run us out of town because we get old. Hopefully, we got old and wiser for a reason. And part of that is we need to know how to persevere until the end. And you can. You can, not on my words. You can't even do it on your own volition or willpower. But if you will allow the Lord to encourage you, you're going to make it to the end. And not just hanging on, you're going to make it with the cry of God in your heart for what He put there for you to cry out for night and day, trusting and believing and longing for Him to accomplish what He put you here to accomplish.